Goody, 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 goody. What up, guys? Welcome to Jupiter's Love. I am the one and only Talk About It Takina, and that over there, that is my lovely, handsome king, Life of Iconic. Welcome to the
What up?
channel. Be sure to subscribe.
Sorry, people. Ain't no, ain't much of editing over here. I'm,
No,
I'm, I'm eating.
we all the way live. I will eat with you, baby. Um, Today we are talking about, is your relationship worth saving? Baby, I have a serious question for you.
Okay.
And I think I already know the answer because obviously we're where we're at today. But back in the day, when we just was not understanding, we wasn't listening, we weren't paying, we wasn't doing nothing what I consider the right way. Would you say it was worth saving?
For me, yes, because I saw you, even though you didn't see you.
Mm,
Because when it was good, it was good, effortlessly for you. I just, we just didn't know that in between.
yeah. So I'm gonna say yes, obviously, because we never stopped trying until I I stopped trying. And I don't want to say I stopped trying. I just felt like I wasn't being heard. I wasn't being seen. Like I just got super frustrated. I wasn't being understood. And I wasn't communicating properly. So I was part of the problem. But we, when we were in Minnesota, we constantly stayed in counseling. So we didn't give up. We felt like it was worth saving. We just had this huge force that was working against us. I'm gonna say religion, but there was other things that was working against us, which was 100% owning our shit and communicating that.
Hmm. I concur because the thing was like, especially with the counseling, like counseling counseling didn't do it did what it was supposed to do, which was put a band-aid over the issue.
Yeah, yeah,
But for the most part, what it should have did was went down to the root of the cause. And
yeah. I don't think it ever did.
I'll say this, because of where we're at right now, if we was to try to help somebody on a personal level or whatever, we probably would know how to navigate down to the root of their problem to find out what it is. What it is, hope. What's up?
So I totally agree because once you break through, I feel like there's a barrier that you would break through to get down to the deep rooted issues. Once you break through that barrier, it's almost like freeing because you have trust and you have an a place where you can say whatever. So you can really speak what's on your mind. You can be honest. And so when you're honest, then you can solve all the problems because you're not hiding anything. You're not lying. You're not patronizing. You're not blanketing issues. You're not band aiding them. When you rip the band aid off and it'll hurt a little bit, then you can get somewhere.
Hurt a little bit. It's gonna hurt a lot, but is that person worth you going through the pain for? Um, a lot of our issues was stubbornness, and stubbornness sprinkled with family, growing up with our different type of family, and um sprinkled also with a dash of religion, and it never was nah, it was never brought up in the way of, but it's it should have just been brought up as is, with with nothing else trying to dictate it, so to speak.
Yeah. So sorry, I don't want to talk with food in my mouth.
But I'm trying not to always say religion, but you can't help, and I'll say this: you cannot help a natural relationship with an unnatural book, per se.
The theories and theological whatever in the book that it puts on you, the stigmatism of shame and guilt and sinning, is, I will say, a big issue in a lot of relationships. Even down to, oh, y'all are living together, so y'all got to hurry up and get married
Yeah,
because you're sinning. And so you don't take the time to really get through any issues you would have. You don't take the time to get to know someone. Let's get married and figure it out later. And now you doing the family thing. Now you doing the family thing. Now you working. Now you doing what you think you're supposed to do as a godly wife or a godly husband. And so now you're disregarding your feelings and putting yourself aside to,
because you're putting somebody else's agenda at hand. Like,
yeah.
yeah, um, it's something you had said that made me think back to what it says in the Bible or whatever. But
More or less, like, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
More or less, if you're living in sin, your home isn't blessed. Hell, I got told that being the second marriage, God doesn't honor the second marriage.
What, for real? I think you told me that.
Yeah, your mother said that to me.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, you know, I personally was dealing with all that, and I'm like, I felt like that was one of the reasons why she never even really took the chance to get to know me. Because, she had her beliefs. So being young and getting married, blended families, second marriage, rushing to get married because we were already living together. We have been living together for years,
And
couple years.
That's some bullshit.
It's old, baby.
But I remember you bringing it up back then. But oh, excuse me, but me or us being under that same religion scrutiny and all that stuff, it's like, really? But in the Bible, marriage was if you slept with somebody. Now,
mm,
if I'm wrong, if you slept with my sister's dad and he was your first, then you was married then before you got with my dad.
but
But
let's not talk. We ain't gonna have a whole religion session.
well,
But
I mean, people that's probably watching, y'all don't read y'all Bibles, y'all.
you gotta read Coach Renz. Look up Coach Renz. What's
Mhm.
his channel? Is that his channel
Why,
name?
why did I leave religion? Did y'all know that my lovely queen right there is not supposed to be my first helpmate? Did y'all know that? If y'all read the Bible, it says that God tried to make all the animals of the world be his helpmate before woman came along. But I bet you y'all just overlooked that because y'all are mentally connected to what y'all heard, which is always the woman is the helpmate. The woman is the
Mm,
helpmate. Yeah, after thousands of animals couldn't be the man's helpmate. Yes.
Junior's here.
Like that's wild to even know.
Yeah. Um. So there's a lot when it comes to like doing it the right way. You do it the right way, and when it's not going the right way, let's say you have a child in sin out of wedlock. Now you're living with that guilt and that shame.
You
You
think you
know.
did something wrong, something bad. But I'm gonna tell you the right way to do a relationship. And it's very simple and it's very easy. You do your relationship, and let me get close so y'all can see see all the grays and whatnot.
Because they.
You do the relationship however the fuck you damn well please. It's yours.
Okay.
Do it your way. Huh?
I said, okay, say that.
Can't nobody tell you how to love you better than you can. And can't nobody tell you how to love your partner better than you can. And vice versa. Now, if it's toxic, abusive, if it makes you sad more times, what, 9 times out of 10, if it makes you sad, that's not the right relationship for you.
Yeah.
We're not saying go deal with a toxic person just because that's what you feel like. Well, you know what? If you feel like doing that, go for it. If
Baby,
you are if you are vibrating at a low thing, that's not the relationship for you.
no, it's not. Do you want to keep talking or do you want me to
Um,
pause real quick?
we're gonna do a part two.
All right. Okay, because he at the door right now.
All right,
You want to do a part two? We can literally pause it.
pause it then.
Okay.
Sure, you got enough
Uh,
pampers.
he has, yeah, I'm already, yeah, I was already on it. All right, guys, we are back. Had to take a brief, uh,
Intermission.
intermission, yeah. Um, so we were talking about just, is your marriage worth it? And all the heavy weight that you have to carry,
Marriage or relationship.
marriage and relationship, and centered around religion. Religion has a huge part to do with not just your relationship, but just in general how you are. So for us, if you have two willing participants, then it's worth it because you're both willing to try. You're both willing to dig away and get to the root of the problem. And hopefully it is the root and not surface. Because if it's surface, you don't keep having the same problems.
And I'm not sure, but I think you can kind of tell if it's just the surface, if um if it's just somewhat too easy, too quick to answer and stuff like that. You mean to tell me you didn't take time to really think about it before you answer? You just automatically knew, hey, it's you, dude, or it's this, it's that. Like, no. And then telltale signs of they don't want to answer or dig deep to help themselves, to help the relationship, is when they start just deflecting in any way, shape, or form. Well, no, I don't want to do it because I did that anyway, and this is the there's no need for all that. You know, and,
If
and and you know your partner if he or she is trying to speed the conversation or don't want to be bothered. Y'all hell, if y'all made it to this point where y'all got to question it, you should really know.
not only that, like if you'll know if it's surface, if you walk away from a discussion and you still have issues, or there's still things that you want to talk about. Like y'all should legit set aside dedicated time to air everything out. Like we did it over what, a week, 2 weeks span. And it was gradual.
Actually, actually, it was a couple months.
Well, the initial like
Oh,
chunk,
that the top being broken off. Yeah, that
yeah.
was.
So it was gradual, and I would agree that I would at least say a month, because during the time frame of me trying to get into a new relationship and him being in a relationship was, hey, let's heal our past so that we're good for the relationships that we're in or trying to get in. So it was gradual, but then it kind of like took off. In a sense of, for me, like when I started owning my shit, it was like, wait, well, I apologize for this, and I apologize for this, and I apologize for this, because I literally like broke through this barrier and was like, wait, you were wrong for this, so apologize. You were wrong for this, apologize. And when you get to that point where it's like having training wheels, and then the training wheels are taken off, and now you can hold up the bike by yourself, and you pedaling, and you can move and go wherever you want. You could turn and lean down and do little tricks. That's how it is once you break through that barrier. It's like it's free flowing. Like you don't have that restriction on you. When you own your shit and you're like, look, I want to be with you. I love you. So I apologize for the hurt and pain that I caused you. When you get that from someone, when you can say that to someone, man, at that point you good.
You look so good saying that. Like, go ahead with your bad self, baby. Ooh.
But seriously though, like at least that's how it felt for me. Like when I really look back and I was like, wait, I was wrong for that situation. I was wrong for what I said. I was wrong for what I did. Like, and me owning my shit allowed him room to be like, wait, okay, so this is what happened in this situation. She apologized for her part, and my reaction, you know what? I apologize for how I reacted. When we really looked at it, everything was like
It's
cause and effect,
yeah, exactly.
all of it. And so when we
Universal
realized that,
law. Universal law, cause and effect, causation and effect. That's why I said earlier, do your relationship how you want to because it's gonna be naturally cause and effect. Universal laws
hey,
of cause
baby,
and effects and stuff like that. Like you don't need a book to tell you how you feel towards your mate or whatever. You don't need a book to tell you how, dag, I reacted in a bad way because my partner said this, did that, or reacted this way. There is such thing as okay, I did something to make her react to it a certain way, and her reaction made me react to her in a certain way, and because I reacted to her reaction reacting to me, it made her react to it. it can go.
We
It can be intertwined just like that.
we we literally realized like there's no one to blame. It was like this endless cycle of cause and effect. Like he said, we can't say, well, this was your fault, because when you blame someone else for something, then you have to be like, okay, but what role did I play in that situation for it to be that person's fault? Okay, so I played this role, so technically it was my fault, but because this, then they did this. It literally was this long stretch of all the situations we had been in literally were entwined. So there was no one to point the finger, because if you point the finger this way, then you got a finger pointing back at you the other way. And so it's just no one's at fault. It's just not realizing like or realizing like because of this what happened. So if you guys can get to that point and you're like, and my biggest, I will forever hold on to this. You have to have two willing people, because there's some people out there that be like, no, it was all your fault.
Yeah.
It was all your fault. It will always be your fault. Everything's your fault.
If you got a person in your life like that, those some major red flags, because they're not looking at what their part that they're playing in.
There's I'm in this transition in my life, so I'm realizing there's the people like us who will own it, take care of it, fix it, whatever. Willing participants. Then you have the people that won't own it, that are completely oblivious to their behavior, their act, whatever. They're right in where they stand. You're wrong, they're right. Always. So in that aspect, you have the other people who are like, you're wrong, it's your fault, and they send back like, yeah, I know I threw that rock in the road and flattened their tire. It's still their fault. It's still their fault. I don't care what you say. But they gonna own it. I'm not gonna say nothing. Yeah, I put a brick, and when they got out of bed and they stumbled over it and fell into the wall and put a hole in the wall. Yeah, you should have cleared your eyes out when you opened up your eyes, and you wouldn't have fell into the wall. But you literally set them up for failure. They see it, but they'll never own it, because they that's what they want. So if you have people that literally set you up for failure, or people that are oblivious to their behavior and their actions, those are not people that are worth saving.
For you, yeah,
They're
they're
not,
not for you.
and it doesn't matter who it is, and you have to be comfortable in accepting it, because
Whichever way you choose, you need to be comfortable if you're gonna stay there and allow it, and you need to be comfortable if you're gonna get up and go. Because again, we mentioned Coach Renz. His saying is, "I lost it again." But basically, he's saying your greatness is non-negotiable. So how I am, I cannot negotiate my greatness for my wife or for anybody. My greatness is why she loves me. Her greatness is why I love her. You know, and believe me, your greatness, somebody's gonna love you. Whether
exactly.
it's a man or a woman, your greatness is lovable.
And
So
there will be people that will see it. If someone points out negatives, all negatives, if someone makes you feel bad, that relationship's not worth saving, because they'll never. I personally, and maybe there's some people out there that are willing to change, but if someone's always pointing out the negative and putting you in a negative space, that's not a relationship that will turn around for the good. Not to that extent. Now, if you have someone that's putting you down, and it's been years of that, then I don't think it's gonna change. Like I think I follow this narcissist dude. He he knows he's a narcissist. He claims to be a narcissist. He is counseling, but he's in counseling. He points out the behaviors of narcissists, but he says, I just ain't gonna change. I can acknowledge it. I know I'm this way. I know it's not right, but I still do it.
And Mr. Organic, he said, or he claimed that he was a nurse. No, he 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 is what you would call a legit alpha male, where you could go, you could come, whatever. He's gonna always do him, which is good. But he's your version of what social media would say is alpha male.
He's living his life unapologetically. He ain't apologizing for nothing.
Right.
If
He's
you don't like
choosing.
how, yeah, if you don't like how I choose to live, that's your problem.
Exactly. And we stepping into Oz, so you feel me?
Yeah. So if you are around anyone, and the thing that I was going to say earlier is if you're in a place where you're apologizing and the other person isn't, that's you have elevated and they're not trying to. They're going to stay where they at.
And because they're staying where they're at, it's gonna be a struggle for you to keep elevating and stand in the midst of their stubbornness.
Yep. They're always going, they don't want to see you succeed. They don't want to see you progress. They don't want to see you better yourself because they're not trying. We literally did it together. We didn't ask each other to do that. It wasn't even talked about. Like, we didn't realize what we were doing, but we did it together. And technically, he did it first because he's been following Coach Reg for years. So he had already been just the knowledge itself, but he offered this class and he got in the class. He was in the class first. And he's like, look, I want greatness. I want this for you, and pulled me in. And with that, we were studying together, learning together, growing together. Like, we did it together and didn't realize it, but we both were willing.
Hmm. Ooh, that can preach right there. I was willing to invest in you regardless of our situation.
Yeah. Look where it got us.
Hmm. But that speaks volume of the love that I have for you. Whether or not it's with me or not,
Yeah.
that was my love for you. I wanted you
Go ahead.
I wanted you to be all that you could be. I wanted you to be healed. I wanted you to be knowledgeable. I wanted you to be hell. I wanted you to be more in love with you than I ever was.
Mm. And I am. And he supports it. I'll be like, I love me more. And he's like, you damn Skippy.
I'm just here to polish and clean and make sure her love shines bright.
Because the thing is, as much as I love myself, he knows that he's gonna get that. If I don't love myself, it's gonna show in everything I do, even involving him. And it did in the past. It did in the past. We didn't love ourselves enough to be able to give that. We were giving each other toxic love. And not toxic in a bad way, but just unhealthy love. We were
Mm.
giving each other unhealthy love. And so when
That's like the sixth time using yarn.
the baby, I think I'm blaming the baby. um so
He was doing the I'm tired cry too, but go
yeah,
ahead.
he doesn't feel good. So Jazz gave him a little bit of medicine. They're about to leave, and I'm gonna go get Omar and I'm gonna
Yeah.
chill today, get some work done, spend time with the nephew. So, uh, when we got to a place where we're like, he started loving himself more, I started loving myself more, and he was in a relationship, and so where he was, even being himself, Valentine's he gave gifts, and the gifts weren't appreciated, and so he's like,
Man, I
yeah,
forgot.
this might not be for me, because regardless of what he gets for me, I appreciate it wholeheartedly. It doesn't matter what it is. It don't matter what it is. And so being with someone, if you buy them, hell, if you buy them a freaking eraser or you buy them a knife, knives, whatever it is, if they don't appreciate, they're like, what's this? What's this for? Why'd you get me this? Because you like to draw and whatever else. And you could have saved your money. I don't want that. But you like it. Or I thought you would like it. If you want stuff for somebody and they don't appreciate it, that relationship's not worth saving. Like I could go down a whole list of things that if you're doing for someone, like hell, if someone's like uplifting you, like, oh, I got you a gift, and you're like, oh my God, I got a ring, or I got this, I got roses, and then they're like, yeah, but you can't show nobody, don't tell nobody, just act like I didn't even get it for you.
Right, then what's the point?
What's the point? Now you lifted me up, and now you're like, yeah, but no one can know that I
Ba-
did that for you.
Basically, you don't want that person to live. You don't want that person to love out loud. Love is not meant to be quiet. It's not meant to be hidden. It's
No.
meant to be shown out loud. Like if love don't speak louder than you, then something's wrong.
Hell, I had a friend back in the day that we would, everyone followed us on social media. Like we were even currently they watch us. And so when we having conversations back and forth, our mutual friends can see, oh, so and so wrote on so and so's wall, or so and so commented on whoever posts. And so we had mutual friends that were seeing how we corresponded with each other. And so we would, be all silly and just be ourselves on social media. And I had a friend that literally made a post. It was like, oh my God, if one more sappy post, if one more this or that. And I knew she was talking about us. And I'm like, okay, back then it's like, girl, ew. But now I realize, like, that's not a friend. That's
Nope.
not a friend. That's not a relationship, friendship worth saving. Because your friendships, I have friends now that are like, yeah, even my friend that gave him the divorce papers, like even now she's like, I really admire what y'all have. Like she inboxes me on occasion, like she is happy that where we're at. She sees us, and so she supports what we have. I have my other two friends, like we work, we good together. So if you have anybody around you that has an issue with anything that you do in your life, that's not a relationship, friendship, family member, whatever. Keep them at a distance. It's not worth your energy at
Yeah,
all.
they low key hating on you because they probably want what you want, or they probably want what you got, but can't get what you have because they want
Go
it
ahead, baby.
their own way.
Keep talking, baby.
So, oh, I even see you move away. I looked outside the window. Um, but yeah, you gotta be like even my friends or whatever. If they're not happy for me, I don't care how they feel about my wife. whether they think she's wrong, whatever. Hell, they can even like her. I don't care. But if they're not happy, genuinely happy for me, then best believe they'll be on the back burner. They'll be the last person to get called. They'll be the last person to invite. They'll be the last person, you know, to get any type of attention from me. So you need that. You need to be able and comfortable with saying, hey, that person ain't there for me. Let me go ahead and move around. Because the people that's gonna be there for you is gonna uplift you and ride out with you at the drop of a hat.
He like, wait, is that Uncle? There
Mm.
you are. So yeah, so I don't know. I wasn't listening to all that you said, but
So good.
um, at the end of the day,
She give him some volume or something, some Ritalin.
no. She gave him some medicine, and then they just fed him.
Oh, oh yeah, he good.
He content now. Hi, silly baby. Um, so you always want to be around people that speak life into you and uplift you. And if you're in a place that you're noticing, like for a long time when we before we got to where we're at now, and I know we're elevating because we're seeing things from a different perspective. Am I vibrating? Like, is my voice like okay? Let me see if that helps. Is that better?
I don't know. I don't think so. You gotta say some more stuff.
Okay. Well, I don't hear the vibrating as much.
Oh, okay.
Um,
You look good though, dude. You you definitely look good.
thank you. TT look good?
No.
Okay. He huffed at me.
Oh.
Um, Anywho, I heard some music playing. So we're elevating, so we're seeing things from a different perspective. And it's like when we were in a lower level, lower frequency, we didn't notice all that we're noticing now.
Oh yeah, the veil is off. That's probably
Yeah.
what it meant in the Bible when you get the veil taken off, the blinders, and you starting to see things for what they are, not for what you think they should be.
Yeah. Um, so now that we can see things on a different perspective, a different level, it's like things that we wanted. It's almost like things that I wouldn't even say we wanted, but just
Did you take a picture?
yeah, I took a picture of me and the baby.
Oh, okay.
Are you looking at Uncle? um, you gonna wave at him? Say hi.
All right.
Um, so seeing things from a different level, a different elevation. Now we're recognizing all these different energies that we didn't see when we were in the midst of it.
Mm-hmm.
So when we let that veil go, took the blinders off, we elevated and we're like, wait, we we coincided with that. That was us. We was okay with that. We were a part of that.
We believed that it was supposed to be this way, and no wonder everything is being messed up or when you take it back to religion, like how many times me being in the man group and me hearing, what can we do to get more men in the church? What can we do to get more men in the church? The reason there's not a lot of men in the church is because a lot of what is taught goes against human nature, and the one thing that men are in tune to is human nature.
Yeah.
You know why it's good to go to church to find a woman? It's because they natural instinct or whatever is to, you know what? I ain't even gonna speak on women. I just know it's a lot of women in church and not a lot of men.
Yeah.
See, I can speak for the men, but I don't know for the women. Well, all right, we gonna catch y'all on the next one though.
Yes.
So with that being said, I'm your guy. Y'all see it right at the bottom. Life of Iconic, and that right there is my beautiful,
I
lovely
saw that.
wife. Talk about it, Takina, and that's Little Light Bright. Yeah,
He
yeah.
don't want to be called that.
You don't want to be called Light Bright, okay?
Nope, he don't like that.
All right, Mike, 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 Mike. All right, y'all.
All right, we're out. We'll catch you in the next one. Be sure to subscribe.
And make sure your love is out of this world. Don't ground your love, make it out of this world. There we go.
All right, y'all. We'll see you in the next one.
Love ya.